Hello everyone. It's Cindy Liptak, and I wanted to thank you to those of you that have shared this week of difficulty with my family, my brother and my dad and I, as we went through the beginning of the grieving process for the loss of my mother. All of your care and concern means a great deal to all of us. I also wanted to wish a happy Mother's Day to everyone out there that ever had a mother. That pretty much covers all of us, I think. I realize that today is a very happy day for many people. For my daughter Kristen, it's her first Mother's Day. She has a new baby this year. For some of us, it's a day that brings some tearfulness and sadness. And for others, it's a mixed day. There's happiness and sadness combined. And so I wanted to let any of you know today that are having a difficult day, I wanted to let you know that I love you. You have just blessed my life. I have friends, dear friends, that have lost children, lost parents, that perhaps haven't had the relationship with their mother that they had hoped for. And it hurts. And I wanted to let you know that I'm aware of that, and I care about you, and I love you. I wanted to share a letter with you that I wrote to my mother, and I do not remember writing this letter. I don't know under what circumstances I wrote it. I don't know where or when I wrote it. It would have to be in the last few years when she was not well, but she saved it in her drawer. I went through one of her drawers yesterday that had, it was completely full. You could barely open it. Lots of cards, letters, and things that she had received from even before she was married to my dad, so over 60 years. And this letter was one that I found, and I read it, and I wanted to share it with you because I think that it meant a great deal to her, and maybe that it will help some of you at some time in your life. It's very personal in a lot of ways, but I still want to share it. Dear Mom, I'm writing today to tell you that I love you and that I am sorry that you are struggling right now. It makes me sad because you are the most wonderful mother that I could have ever hoped for. And I want every day of your life to be filled with joy and peace and happiness. This is what we truly deserve. Did you know that the name Nadine means hope? I can think of no greater comfort than knowing that the name that you were given means hope. Hope is everything. Without it, there really is nothing else. Unfortunately, there have been many times in my life when I felt hopeless. It was truly the worst of times for me. I felt hopeless because I didn't know how I was going to be able to stay in the marriage that I was in. Or I felt hopeless because of Michaela, my middle daughter. I felt hopeless when I agonized over the knee pain that I had for many years. There have just been many other times that I felt that way. You need to know, Mom, that there's always hope, even when things seem hopeless. You have been through a number of difficult things in your life, and you didn't give up, but you kept trying. I know that your job in Derby was very stressful the last few years, and my mother retired from teaching in 1996. But you hung in there and you did the best that you could. You did it because you knew that your family needed you, and I want you to know I still need you as much today as I ever have. I know that you might be feeling depression. I deal with depression by going into a shell. I don't want to talk. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. I once had a doctor tell me that I was the most depressed person they had ever seen. Most of the time, I was depressed because I just felt completely hopeless. I've also suffered with anxiety. It's a terrible condition. You constantly think that the worst possible thing is going to happen. It's really tough to get through at times. Our abilities do not remain the same throughout life. There are things that I used to be able to do that I just can't do anymore. That is the way it works as we age. The only alternative to aging is to die young, and that isn't much of a consolation prize. Jack LaLanne used to do jumping jacks on TV, but he eventually got old just like everybody else. You are my mother and will always be my mother, and your value is not diminished or changed at all by what you can do or you can't do. Instead of mourning what we can no longer do, we need to focus on what we can do. At our most limited, human beings can still usually smile and encourage other people. We can tell someone that we love them. We can pray for the needs of someone else. Pope John Paul II said that he cherished the prayers of people who were suffering and disabled because they were incredibly precious in the sight of God. I think that sometimes mothers suffer tremendously over the heartaches and tribulations of their children. I once said that a mother can only be as happy as her most unhappy child. If there is a way to separate the heart of a mother from the heart of her children, I have not found it. My life would have been different if Michaela's life had been different. A mother never gives up and never stops hoping for her children. It is the deep and abiding love of our mothers, both dead and alive, that sustains most people through their lifetime. There are no greater cheerleaders in this world than mothers and fathers. When things are bad and nobody else has hope, mothers and fathers still do. That doesn't mean that we don't hurt or we don't suffer. It means that we leave the candle burning in the window for those walking in darkness, and that flame burns eternally. I don't know why things happen as they do. I don't know why alcohol addiction exists, or drugs, divorce, mental illness, physical illness, old age, or any other thing that this world could just as well do without. I wouldn't have made those things if I had been in charge. I also wouldn't have made mice or frogs. The absence of mice and frogs could have impacted a lot of other things and ultimately not been a good thing at all. I have to trust completely in God and believe that He knows what He is doing. As my mother, you have shared much wisdom with me. One of the wisest things that you ever told me was also one of the most simple. I was terribly distraught one day when my kids were little. Things were really bad. I had experienced a terrible day. You told me firmly and sincerely that the next day would be better. And it was. Miraculously it was, because I had seen no possible hope that it would be. I have taken those words to heart every day that I have ever had since then. I say that my mom said that tomorrow will be better, and I stake my claim on that. I have never been let down. I know that you are discouraged, that you are worried, that you are in pain, that you are weak and tired, and you're frustrated, and you're confused, and you're anxious, and you're probably even angry. Every one of those things is very negative. And I don't think that you will get well unless we can lay some of those things down. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That pretty much speaks for the entire human race at one time or another. It doesn't say that the burdens will be immediately taken away, or that we can just die so that we don't have to go on. It says that we will be given rest. We are expected to rest in the safety of God's arms and then get up to face another day with the help of God. Mom, you are my inspiration and you are my hope. I am who I am because you are my mother. If there were no you, there would be no me. I will be praying that the negative things that I listed above will be replaced with strength and peace and joy and happiness and fun and good health and well-being and faith and hope and love. I have complete confidence that this will happen. Love forever, Cindy. I'm wearing red today because my mom liked it when I wore red. That was her favorite color on me. So I dressed up today and put on my pearls, and it's because I love you, Mama. Thank you all for your love and care this week. Have a good week next week. Bye-bye.